Welcome back, folks, to more Let's Play Pokemon Sapphire, no Pokecenters, no Pokemarts. In the last episode, we took down the second gym leader and obtained our second badge, as you can hopefully see here. And one of the things that we were trying to figure out at the end of the last part was what we wanted to do next in terms of teaching something cut, getting access to the items we didn't pick up earlier, and in terms of what we want to do heading forward in the rest of this run, trying to start making some more progress. And so, I did kind of feel like I wanted to teach Sableye Cut, simply for the fact that it does learn it, and having Cut on here would kind of be nice, just because eventually Scratch is going to run out and I could just teach it Cut. However, I discovered that at level 17, Sableye also learns Fury Swipes, so wanting to teach that, I kind of need to get rid of something else, so it's either going to be Leer or Scratch, depending on the situation and what I've gotten rid of. But I just feel like teaching Cut this early to Sableye is kind of a waste because I can just teach it later and have that extra 50 base power move. So the thing I basically came down to was I think I decided I'm just gonna switch. I'm gonna go for a Zigzagoon. It's basically the HM staple for a lot of people's runs. It learns Rock Smash, it learns Cut. I think it learns Surf, maybe only as a Lanoon, but it does a bunch of different things. So that's what I'm going to go for. We're going to go for a Zigzagoon, and because Sableye is probably too strong to kill it, I'm going to go for Shroomish and try and do as minimal damage as possible to this thing. We're going to go for Tackle, since I kind of need to get rid of those eventually. Tackle is fine, and I don't really care too much about taking damage on Breloom, or Shroomish I should say. Breloom is his nickname. Simply for the fact that we do have access to Leech Seed, and as I mentioned before, Leech Seed is very valuable. I probably don't want to use it just yet because I can use it on higher level pokes and get more HP return, but it's simply just too good to waste this early because of the fact that I can spread it around for my entire team. It doesn't matter if it's just Shroomish, and we just wasted one Pokeball. That kind of sucks. Didn't want to do that. Come on, just catch this thing. It's at half health. It's gotta work. 1, 2, 3. Yes, there we go. So, got my Zigzagoon. I can teach that thing Cut finally, and I now have access to a bunch of different areas around this place here. Someone wanted me to nickname something after them, so I can't really think of a nickname for this thing right off the top of my head. So we're just gonna go with the last thing I saw in the comments recently, so we're gonna go with Curiosity, I think the guy wanted. So unfortunately it's not a staple for the team, but it's kind of the nature of how this run's gonna go. I would have liked to nickname pokes after people that are gonna be mainstays, but realistically for this run, it's not necessarily about building a team where all my guys are gonna be useful. It's about building a team where I'm using the most effective pokes given the situation. So unlike Crystal, where we were able to build up an entire team and run through the game from that sense, this run is going to be based more around type advantage and getting specific pokes that accomplish specific goals. One of the things I do want to mention though is that Zigzagoon always come with pickup in this generation, I believe. And because of that fact, we're going to give it a useless item just for the fact that we won't be using pickup. So we're going to give it a Stardust, just so it can't pick up anything, and you guys can tell that I'm not abusing pickup in any sense. All I want to do with the Zigzagoon is teach it Cut and get access to some extra areas. Maybe I'll use its HP, or maybe I'll use its PP for other things, but for now, Zigzagoon is simply our HM slave. So, I believe I fought every trainer in here anyways, so we're just going to run through and get access to where we want to go. I'll probably come back and get the Cut stuff from this area later, after I get the stuff west or east of Rustboro. So, as I mentioned before, Cut is very useful because even though it's not required to progress through the entirety of this game, there's no reason to actually pick it up. You can get it, and you can get access to all these extra items. So There's an X accuracy I did pick up there. Gonna make our way up here. And, oh shoot, wrong turn. But yeah, cut gives us access to this area up here, which we previously didn't have access to. Or I guess we did, we just didn't have access to the other stuff that I wanted to get from it. So, oh, we didn't have access to the area at all. So, I'm first going to switch out Sableye here just for this upcoming fight. And Zigzagoon's going to use Cut. I probably could have just tracked to that tree, but that's neither here nor there. I can just dodge this guy, but as I mentioned before, I may as well just use Sableye and get, who did I have the XP share on? Tailo, I believe? Get some extra experience on any other member of my party for now. So, Routes comes out. And Sableye completely walls this thing. I believe it only knows Confusion, which is great. So from here, we don't want to use our Ghost Stab just yet, because I do have plenty of normal Stab to use for now. So we're just going to go with a Scratch, see how much that does. It does over half, that's fine. Growl may prevent the 2-hit KO, but we'll go for it anyways. We'll see what happens. And magic happens, Routes dies. I kind of was expected anyways, but nevertheless, we got through there. So, I think for the next upcoming fight, we're gonna want Tailo out. And I know there's a hidden item, or a couple hidden items around here somewhere. I just don't know exactly where. So, for now, we're just gonna fight this trainer. I think she leads off with a Shroomish, if I'm not mistaken. And Tailo should be able to deal with that relatively easily with its flying type stab, which is why I brought it out. So, even though Peck probably will kill, I feel like Wing Attack is probably the better option. But, what the heck, let's just go for Peck. And it does one-shot it. And we avoid Effect Spore. Hitting any sort of Shroomish or Breloom in this generation with a physical move like that is kind of risky, just for the fact that having that risk of Effect Spore is just not something I want to deal with on a regular basis. So if you can avoid hitting it with a special or hitting it with a physical contact move, it's best to do so. But the benefit for us is the fact that we have a Shroomish of our own, which will eventually be a Breloom, and Breloom doesn't get Poison Heal in this generation, so the only thing we can have is Effect Spore, which I'm willing to take that % chance of some sort of status on any poke that's going to hit us. But hopefully we can just flat out one-hit KO things before they actually even get a chance to touch us. I believe this is the one we want to cut down. There's a Super Potion here hidden somewhere, so I believe it's somewhere up here. And having that extra heal is going to be very important to us, because at this point in the game, even though I thought we were okay for HP items, it seemed like we were kind of getting low as of the last part. So getting that extra Super Potion here is very nice. Getting an extra Ether is amazing for this type of run, so definitely go after that. And these Pinap Berries, I think they're like Pokeblock ones, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll go back and check in a second. Just get some Chesto Berries. I believe you get 4 in total, which is nice. Even though Sleep isn't too much of a threat, I do believe we have access to the TM Rest later on in the game, so if we can combo a Rest with a Chesto Berry, that's kind of fortunate for us. So, now that we've cleared out that area for now, I don't think we'll be coming back too much later on. Eventually we'll come back north of Rustboro, pick up some extra items around there, but for now we've gotten everything there. And I was gonna go check that Pinap Berry. Pinap, yeah, Pokeblock, completely useless to us, so don't plan on using any sort of Pokeblocks in this run, so we don't really care about it. Anyways, the other area that cut grants us access to is this area over here, so we're gonna cut down this tree. And some people believe that the encounter rate for like Tailo and Swellow and stuff like that is higher in this section here, but really it's not. We don't really get anything from it. But Miracle Seed from this chick is very, very nice to obtain. having that extra boost to grass type moves is gonna go well beyond helping out Shroomish and Breloom in the long run of things. So I'll take that boost to his stab move any day. We also get an extra Great Ball here, which is fantastic. And I want to say there's some hidden item here over as well. But we do get to pick up this thing, an X attack. Maybe the hidden item is right next to this? No, it's not. Might be down here. Yeah. There's always these like inconspicuous spots that are more than obvious as you go out through the game. You're gonna tend to notice where hidden items are just based on the surroundings and based on just the placement. Like, look at this random patch of missing grass. There's gonna be a hidden item there 50 to 60% of the time, depending how the programmers want to place things, but that's just kind of the things you have to notice with these kinds of games, and there's more than enough strategy guides out there that'll tell you where those things are regardless. So even if you can't find them on your own, plenty of guides out there that will just flat out tell you. So now that we've done everything that I wanted to do as far as backtracking is concerned, we can finally make progress towards the next town, which is Slateport. And even though Slateport doesn't have a gym, it's home to the next kind of plot portion of this game, where we kind of find the bad or evil organization intent on taking over the world, which is a commonplace in these games. So now that we've arrived back in Dewford, we just talk to this guy again, and because we don't have Surf just yet, the only access of traveling around to these next places is by Mr. Briny here. So he's going to get us to Slateport here with his ship, and that's going to get us access to a couple decent items actually in this next space over here. There's an item down there that I will want to pick up later on, but for now, Mr. Briny takes us exactly where we want to go, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So I believe this one trainer up here has a Machop to lead off with, so we're going to switch back into Sableye right there. And I'm not too worried about Sableye versus Machop. Machop doesn't learn anything other than fighting and normal type moves in its moveset, so perfectly safe to stick in with Sableye here. I believe it can learn Foresight, which can be problematic, but for now we should be okay, because if we do get Foresighted, then that's kind of an issue, but Scratch gets a crit, that's fine. Foresight allows this thing to hit us for super effective damage because our ghost type immunity doesn't do anything to it, and because we're actually dark type as well, Machop can hit us for super effective damage, as I just stated. So for now, I don't know if that's actually gonna kill, and I'm not too worried about scratches at this point, so we're just gonna stick with Astonish and finish it off. So that's great. Ghost type stab for the win, right? And Sableye's doing work here, so definitely getting Tailo up in levels. I believe it's almost our strongest member next to Marshtomp over here. And Breloom, although it's only level 10, is going to be fighting a couple things in this area, so that's kind of okay. Let's see here. Where do I want to go next? I believe this trainer has a Zigzagoon. So, because once again it's a normal type poke, we're going to stick with our Sableye choice in preventing it from doing anything to us. Hopefully Sableye can get to level 17 before Scratch runs out, but if that's not the case, then it is what it is. I'm going to throw a Leer and... What? What? I was not expecting that. That is kind of bad. I might have to use an extra potion because of that, so I want to kill this thing as fast as possible. Why is this thing surfing me? Why does this thing know surf? Completely unexpected, and thank you for that crit, because I did not want to take another one of those surfs. I did not expect to have to heal Sableye anytime soon, so for those of you who didn't know, that thing got surf. kind of unexpected for me, and I almost expected Sableye to bite the dust there, but he held on like a champ and proved his worth. So definitely watch out for that in the future. The next thing that I want to fight, though, is this trainer over here. I do want to remember to throw on Miracle Seed here for this thing. Right there. Even though this trainer has 2 Azuros, which are actually normal type, and that's a common mistake a lot of players make. They assume Azurill is water type. It's actually normal type, even though it's the pre-evolution of Marill. I'm just going to go with Shroomish just for the fact that I resist its water guns, I guess, or bubbles, or whatever it's going to throw at me as far as water is concerned. So we're just going to stick with Shroomish. It'll kind of resist water if it wants to go for that. And let's just go for Bullet Seed. I don't really care. We got Miracle Seed on this thing. We got Stab, so it's kind of going to do jack all. That's really underwhelming. I was hoping for a lot better than that. That's really poor on you, Shroomish. You kind of suck. You know what? Let's... what do I want to do? I'm definitely charmed now, so... darn it. Darn it. Let's just use Absorb. Screw it. Charmed isn't going to affect us because it's a special type attack. And man, this thing is freaking bulky. What the heck? Like, I understand it's normal type and we're not doing a lot of damage to it, but still. What do I want to do? Disco doesn't want to take a hit. So you know what? I'm actually going to throw a Leech Seed on this thing. Even though I said they're pretty valuable, I can always get them back with Heart Scale later. So we're going to actually Leech Seed this thing. And hopefully gain back a decent chunk of experience, or a decent chunk of HP. Yeah, so we get back all of the crit there. I love how the crit did like 2 damage. And I'm actually going to switch into Sableye, hoping to get a little bit of extra experience, or a little bit of extra HP here. I'm going to take damage from... Oh, not even going to take damage. Get back some HP with Leech Seed there. And we are charmed. So you know what? I'm just going to switch right back into Shroomish. And I believe this is the most boring way to possibly kill this thing, but... Splash? That's fine. You can sit in there and splash all day. But I will, for now, take this free HP, this chance to heal up. And I'm hoping this thing goes for a charm. If it does bubble, it is what it is. Sableye is going to take some damage, but it's going to heal back with Leech Seed, so I'm not really losing anything in the process. And it just wants to splash, so we're slowly getting back from where we were with, what was it? Freaking Surf? Shroomish is almost at full. So you know what? Let's go to Marshtomp for now. Marshtomp's going to take very little from Bubble as well, just because it's a higher level. And I believe at this point, Marshtomp is just going to finish this thing off. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just go back to Shroomish and kill it that way. Like, switching with Leech Seed in simply prevents me from having to waste moves. And even though this is a Shroomish and it's really kind of tedious, getting this extra extra HP gain early on without having to waste potions is kind of really fortunate. There we go. As Azurill goes down, and Sableye gets a little bit of extra experience to finish it off. So that's probably going to 24. Yeah, that's fine. So, completely negated that stupid Surf from earlier. I didn't intend on taking that. But if we didn't take it earlier, we'd probably be closer to full at this point. He's got another Azurill. And I believe at this point, I'm just going to try and finish it off with Marshtomp. I don't really want to deal with it anymore. I could use another Leech Seed and stall more with that crap. But for now... we're just going to go with a Mud Shot and hopefully one-shot this thing. We miss, of course, which is fantastic. Tail Whip I'm not too concerned about because I think the only thing this thing can hit us with is a Bubble, which is special anyways. So Tail Whip is negligible. Mudshot gets a decent chunk of damage in there, which is fine. And at this point I'm not too concerned about my PP usage, simply for the fact that I have like 3 or 4 ethers, a bunch of lepiberries, I think 3 ethers, 2 or 3, and a bunch of lepiberries, so I'm not too concerned about PP usage. We should be able to manage things from here. But the next poke that I'm going to take on, actually for now we're just going to pick up a free item. In front of this guy is a heart scale, which is fantastic. And one of the things I should have done before fighting that trainer, if I was going to use Mudkip or Marshtomp, is pick up this soft sand. You talk to this girl, you get a free soft sand, and you also get access to another ether right over here. So like I said, PP usage at this point in the run isn't really scaring me too much. I definitely want to give that soft sand to Marshtomp, so we'll make use of that right away. It's going to boost up his ground type stab moves, so Mud Shot, Mud Slap, all that good stuff. The next trainer I do want to fight, though, I believe has a Wingull. I don't think Wingull gets Wing Attack at this point, but it may. So from that perspective, I can't use Marshtomp against it. I can use... because Marshtomp, even though it has Tackle, I don't really want to waste it. I could use Talo. No. You know what? Shroomish needs to get his experience up there, so let's just gung-ho it. If Shroomish dies for some stupid reason... sorry. I believe we should be okay. I'm not expecting Flying type stab, but let's hope for the best. I do need to burn some tackles, of course. Let's just go for tackle. Okay, wants to supersonic, that's fine. Tackle's gonna do a decent chunk. Well, not as decent as I hoped. We definitely don't want to get supersonic though, but if it happens, it happens. We do take a water gun, and minimal damage there. We only take 3. And you know what? I'm just gonna throw Leech Seed on there. Of course, we get freaking supersonic. Don't hit. Yes. Okay. Phew. Probably would have been smart to Leech Seed this thing at full, just because we gain more HP that way. But it is what it is. Wingull is doing work, or Wingull's not doing work really. It's just kind of sitting there. But I'm not fearing the water move too much against Sableye, so let's just go there. If it wants to waste a turn with Supersonic, that's fine. We can just switch back in. And Growl is more than fine. I will take Growls all day long. Get some extra HP on this thing. So heal up. I can Nightshade this thing just because it is water and flying. But at this point, I'm not really fearing it. And Shroomish can just come back in and tackle as long as it's not confused. So we take the water gun. It's only going to deal 3. We gain back 3 or 4 from Leech Seed, which is nice. 3, that's fine. And I'm just going to be content to finish it off with tackles here. Supersonic misses, that's nice. And get that Leech Seed damage in. And at this point, it doesn't really matter what we do. I'm just going to switch out. Using an attack for that negligible amount of HP when Leech Seed is just going to finish it off is more than fine. I don't really want to waste PP to kill 1 HP. That seems like a waste when Leech Seed is just going to do the job. So, whoa, this episode is going way longer than anticipated. I totally lost track of the timer. So we're just going to finish this guy off as soon as we can. And, no, I don't want to change. I'm just going to Nightshade this thing. But definitely went over time this time. I thought we were going to be about 20 minutes apart, but evidently this one, partly my fault for just not noticing the time. We took a ton of damage there from water gun, but Nightshade's not gonna 2-hit KO, is it? Frick. If we were level 16 it would, but come on, what's the chances of that, right? Let's just go into Breloom. Forget it. I don't want to take that much damage from water gun. Supersonic is whatever. I'm just gonna switch back out. Even though this isn't really getting us anywhere. I'm probably gonna take a water gun in the process, which is gonna suck. Yep, that was not a good move on my play. On my part, anyways. I definitely want to throw Leech Seed on this thing now, but why am I strategizing against a freaking level 12 Wingull? This is stupid. Frag. And all this thing's gonna do is water gun me now. Let's just see if I have a... Do you have a Confusion Berry? No. You know what? Let's just tackle this thing. Of course I get growled. At least that's we're not gonna do as much damage to ourselves if we do hit ourselves in confusion. So yeah, there we go, jinxing it. So even though our attack's lowered, that's fine. I'm actually gonna try and Leech Seed this thing, because I want to try and recoup some of the damage that we did take with those water guns there. And of course we're gonna get freaking hit with confusion. Why does this thing continue to growl? We're just gonna do negligible damage with confusion anyways. And in the time where I previously had talked about not wasting Leech Seeds, I've already used 3 on like half health pokes. So look at me teaching you guys how to play this run through so effectively. At this point I am gonna switch out. Hopefully he doesn't water gun, but you guys know my luck. He's gonna water gun. Yep, there it is. Boom. So that's fantastic. We're taking 6 damage from that, and we're regaining 3. What do I want to do? Because I want to get this thing healed if I can. We could just burn a turn with Leer. Of course, I'm dumb. Why am I doing these things? We're basically getting nowhere with this freaking thing. Stupid disco. Why? You know what, Frig? Let's just go back to Breloom. Broloom. Whatever. This thing is way over time and I'm really screwing up now. And I'm just burning all these stupid moves. I'm not really burning PP at this point, but I'm wasting valuable HP at this point. Sableye was at 24 before this fight, and now he's just sucking it up. So we're gonna finish this thing off with Tackle. Probably could have been more wise to do nothing and get that extra 3 HP, but I had nothing to. I wanted to take a water gun there, so I had to go with what worked. For now, though, Sableye can actually wall another Machop and do its job like it should be. Rather than taking hits, it's dishing them out and dodging crap. I think at this point I'm just going to throw a Scratch on. I'm not too concerned about Foresight. I believe it learns it at like level 15 or 16, something later on, so it's not too much of a threat at this point, at least at level 12. But some of the later Machops and stuff, I'm probably going to be wary of. Scratch is fine. I'll just throw that on. And let's just use another Scratch. Fury Swipes is coming up pretty soon, so I'm not too concerned about it. Tailo gets that extra experience, so does Disco, but I'm not too concerned about Disco gaining XP as I am about Tailo. So we did clear out the trainers here, and all I'm going to do for the remainder of this part is pick up some hidden items. So let's see, there is a heart scale under here, and I did miss a hidden item that was right here. Great Ball? Yes, Great Ball. Not only that, but fantastic item for us coming right up is right under here. Come on. boom, revive. So very thankful to have those, because there is very few ways I can actually revive a Pokemon in this type of run. All I have access to is rare candies, revives, and max revives. Other than that, I cannot revive a poke. So given this stupid long episode, we're just gonna end things off here, and next time I'm gonna enter this stupid house so we can get access to 6 soda pops if we defeat all the trainers inside. It's definitely a plus. The PP is kind of negligible. Like I said, we're not too concerned about it at this point, but would definitely appreciate the HP boost. So that's the plan for next episode, and hope to see you guys next time. Sorry about the long episode, but see you later, guys. Peace.